Have you ever looked at someone and wondered, how do they always seem to be in the right place at the right time? Like, no matter what, the right doors just open for them, while others hustle nonstop and still feel stuck. Here's the thing. It's not because they work harder. And no, it's not just about positive thinking either. What if I told you the real secret lies in something quiet, overlooked, and incredibly powerful? Silence. Yep, silence. What if the moment you stopped announcing your dreams, the universe finally started listening? Sounds strange, right? But staying quiet, moving intentionally, and aligning your inner world in stillness, that's when the magic begins. It's a concept backed by science, too, specifically by a brilliant mind named Jacobo Grinberg, who uncovered how silence affects what we manifest in reality. In this video, you're going to learn why quiet actions speak louder in the vibrational world, how talking about your goals too soon can literally trick your brain into giving up, and the small daily habits that quietly rewire your subconscious for alignment, flow, and synchronicity. This isn't about hustling more. This is about becoming more without the noise. So if you're tired of forcing things to happen, stick around. You might just discover a whole new level of peace, clarity, and ease. And if something about this message already feels right, tap like and comment, so YouTube knows to show you more content that speaks to this version of you. Let's clear one thing up. Silence doesn't mean absence. It means power. When you move in silence, you're not hiding, you're charging. Every quiet move stores energy in the unseen. It builds momentum. While loud declarations may seem bold, they often scatter your energy. Quiet progress? That's pure focus. There's a reason ancient sages meditated in solitude and warriors trained away from the crowd. Silence isn't weak. It's sacred. In silence, your energy isn't diluted by opinions, doubt, or praise. It becomes concentrated, precise like a laser. And that's when manifestation accelerates. Think back. How many dreams faded the moment you shared them too soon? All it takes is a dismissive look, a sarcastic comment, or even a well-meaning compliment, and suddenly your drive fades. That's not random. It's neuroscience. Talking about your goals gives your brain a dopamine hit, so part of you thinks the job's already done. And just like that, momentum dies. But here's the mind-blowing part. Silent progress unlocks something most people never get to feel: true synchronicity. Those uncanny moments where the right call, the perfect book, or a life-changing encounter just shows up. It's not luck, it's alignment. And alignment comes from flow, not force. Think of your manifestations like seeds. If you keep digging them up to show people, they never grow. But if you plant them in silence, water them with faith, and trust the vibe you're holding, they flourish. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means everything is. And I get it. It's tempting to share. You want someone to believe in your dream with you. But pause. Ask yourself, who are you telling and why? If you need someone else to validate your vision, maybe you haven't fully claimed it yet. Close your eyes for a second. Picture walking through life already knowing something amazing is on its way. Because you planted it, you felt it, and you didn't need anyone's approval. That energy, that silent confidence, it pulls miracles to you. Now here's where the science comes in. This isn't just spiritual talk. It's rooted in the research of Jacobo Grinberg, a neuroscientist who explored the idea that reality isn't fixed, it's filtered. He called it the neuronal field, a web of pure potential where every possibility already exists. So, what pulls those possibilities into your life? Your frequency, your internal vibration. Your thoughts don't just stay in your head, they ripple into the field. And the more your energy aligns with what you desire, the more your outer world starts to match. That's why some people seem lucky. They're resonating at the right frequency. Grinberg's most powerful insight: your brain isn't just a receiver, it's a projector. If your subconscious is filled with fear or old beliefs, that's what you keep seeing in your reality. Same problems, same blocks, over and over. But when you start taking silent, aligned action consistently, you change the projection, slowly but powerfully. Here's the key. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what your energy believes is possible. Ever notice how affirmations sometimes feel like lies? That's because if they don't touch the subconscious, they don't shift the field. Emotion is the bridge between thought and transformation. Let me tell you about Maya. She journaled, visualized, did everything right. But nothing changed until she stopped trying and started aligning. She cleared space, let go of what wasn't hers, and lived in gratitude for what hadn't even arrived yet. Then flow, synchronicities, a dream client, a new apartment within weeks. So ask yourself, are you thinking your future into being or feeling it? There's a difference. Real manifestation isn't a list. It's a frequency. And the subconscious doesn't speak logic. It speaks emotion, repetition, vibration. That's why so many people stay stuck. They change the wallpaper, but not the walls. Remember what we said about the power of silence. Now imagine combining it with this understanding that your entire reality bends to your vibration. So what happens when you speak too soon about a goal and your subconscious mistakes it for truth? That's where the next piece gets tricky. You probably never realized this, but talking about your goals can actually kill them. Not because people are rooting against you, but because your brain can't tell the difference between speaking and doing. The moment you share it, dopamine hits as if you've already accomplished it. And that right there weakens your drive. Imagine training for a marathon. You haven't run a mile yet, but you tell everyone. They cheer. They're impressed. You feel good. And suddenly that fire inside dims. That subtle, powerful tension between where you are and where you're going is gone. That's the danger. Dopamine without progress is like applause without performance. Your subconscious is always listening. And when you talk too soon, it thinks the job is done. You trick your vibration into satisfaction without having actually moved. Silent actions, on the other hand, build pressure, the kind of sacred, focused tension that fuels real momentum. That's where manifestation becomes magnetic. It's not about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about protecting the energy before it's stable, before the roots are deep enough to hold against the wind. Think of a candle in the wind. It needs a shield before it becomes a flame strong enough to stand on its own. Oversharing exposes your vision to the storm. Now here's a twist. Oversharing doesn't just mess with your mind. It opens the door for other people's projections to seep in. Subtle doubts, side comments, jealousy disguised as concern. These vibrations can entangle with yours and distort your focus. Silent growth keeps your vibration clean, pure, undiluted. Here's a practical shift. Instead of saying what you're going to do, share what you've already done. Not as validation, but as vibration. Let your results speak louder than your voice. Let gratitude guide your words, not insecurity. Protect the vibration. That's how you stay in flow and out of ego. So, what goal have you been broadcasting too soon? What truth have you leaked before it was ready? It's not too late to pull back, reset the energy, and re-enter silence. And now that you understand how speech rewires the subconscious, wait until you see how your beliefs have been doing the same all along. They told you to think positive, right? But no one told you your subconscious might be silently screaming the opposite. Beneath every decision, every reaction, every block is a belief planted years ago, often in childhood. And most people are still living out scripts they never consciously agreed to. You may want success, but if your subconscious associates success with danger, abandonment, or exhaustion, guess what happens? Self-sabotage, delays, confusion. That's because the subconscious isn't logical. It's emotional. It doesn't care about what you say. It cares about what you felt over and over again. That's what shapes your vibration. Here's a hard truth. If you've ever heard things like, money's hard to get, or you're too much, or even, you'll never be enough, those words might still be echoing in your mind today, often without you even realizing it. And those words shape how you see every opportunity, every challenge, every dream. The truth is, you don't always see life as it is. You see it through the lens of what your subconscious believes life to be. Let me introduce you to Daniel. He's got a brilliant mind and big dreams. But every time opportunity knocked, he found a way to miss it. Why? Because deep down, he believed, I'll mess it up anyway. It wasn't a conscious thought, but it was there in the background, loud and clear. That is, until he started rewriting that belief. With repetition, gratitude, and consistent aligned actions, everything changed for him. This is why affirmations don't always work. You might say, I am worthy, but if your subconscious says, no, you're not, guess which belief is going to win? The one that's louder, the one that's ingrained. And the subconscious speaks in silence. It's in the gut feeling, the hesitation, the patterns you fall into. So how do you spot a subconscious belief? Simple. Look at your life. It's a reflection of the beliefs you've been vibrating, whether you've been aware of them or not. And here's the good news. Those beliefs can be rewritten. Your subconscious is not a cage. It's a program. And programs? They can be updated if you know how. The question is, how do you change what you believe, even when you don't know you believe it? How do you transform those truths that are lodged deep inside you? It starts with repetition, but not the kind you might think. I'm talking about the kind that feels, the kind that creates new emotional grooves. That's what we're diving into next. Here's the thing. Most people repeat their pain more than their power. Not because they want to, but because repetition is the subconscious language. Whatever gets repeated emotionally becomes truth. It's not just about repeating words. It's about feeling them so deeply that your subconscious begins to believe they've always been true. Let's try this. I am enough. It sounds easy, right? But say it after a heartbreak. Say it after rejection. Say it when everything feels like it's falling apart. That's when it counts. That's when your vibration is raw, open, and change is possible. Repetition is powerful, not because it's frequent, but because it's felt in vulnerable moments. Visualization works the same way. When you imagine something with emotion, when you see it, smell it, feel it, your subconscious starts to accept it as familiar. And what feels familiar? It becomes achievable. That's the secret. That's the flow. You're not tricking your mind. You're teaching it to remember a future that's already yours. Now here's a micro practice for you. Every morning, write down 3 affirmations that feel just slightly uncomfortable, but also possible. Then step into them. I attract abundance. Now walk like it. Dress like it. Make decisions like it. That's how repetition becomes vibration. Silent actions that align with your conscious statements. That's how manifestation speeds up. Let's clear up a misconception. Reprogramming doesn't mean pretending to be happy all the time. It's about choosing what you reinforce. You can feel doubt, but don't repeat it. You can feel fear, but don't affirm it. Your subconscious is listening for patterns, not exceptions. So, train the pattern. Gratitude is another secret weapon in this process. When you pair affirmations with real, heartfelt gratitude, everything starts to shift. Thank you for the clarity that's coming. Thank you for the opportunities aligning right now. That's not fantasy. That's vibrational trust. And trust, it reshapes the subconscious like water carves stone. So now you might be asking yourself, how do I stay in this energy long enough to align fully? How do I lock into such deep focus that time fades, doubts vanish, and everything just falls into place? Well, that's the magic of flow. You know that feeling when hours pass like minutes and everything just clicks? That's flow. It's not random. It's a state you can enter. And here's the secret. Flow isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. It happens when your vibration, your actions, and your subconscious are all in harmony. Flow is where synchronicity lives. It's the invisible thread connecting your inner clarity with the world outside. You've probably experienced it when you think of someone and they call. When the perfect idea drops in the middle of the shower. When you're working, but it doesn't feel like work. That's the universe saying you're aligned. But let's be real, most people don't live in that space. They live in survival mode, overthinking, and noise. Flow can't survive in chaos. It needs space, silence, and trust. Here's the paradox. You can't chase flow. You have to create the conditions for it to appear. Just like a river, it moves when the path is clear. Want to know the secret to getting there? Presence. Flow starts the moment you stop trying to control everything and begin fully experiencing what's happening right now. Your breath, your body, the present moment. That's the doorway. Silent actions taken from presence are so powerful that they draw synchronicity like a magnet. And when you're in flow, manifestation accelerates. You stop doubting, you stop forcing. You just follow your next intuitive nudge. The right people show up. The right words appear. It's like the universe is saying, finally, you're listening. Gratitude becomes effortless because you're already in it. Here's a tip. Do more of what makes you lose track of time. Writing, dancing, designing, cooking, whatever connects you with yourself. Do it often, not because it's productive, but because it's magnetic. Flow is the playground of your higher self. And in those moments, your vibration becomes unstoppable. But what happens when the flow stops? When nothing clicks and your energy feels stuck? That's not failure. That's a message. It's pointing you to the next step. Most people resist it, but it's where the real shift happens. Here's the part people often avoid: letting go. It sounds soft, passive, even weak, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful things you can do. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about not fighting the flow. It's the silent action of release. And release sends a vibration of deep trust into the universe. Non-resistance isn't laziness. It's alignment. When you stop gripping the outcome so tightly, you create space for the universe to move. And here's the irony. The tighter you hold, the more it slips away. Ever chased love, success, or clarity only for it to feel like it's always just out of reach? That's not rejection. That's resistance. Let me tell you about Lucia. She spent months visualizing her dream job, applying everywhere, but got no offers. Then one night, she wrote a letter of surrender, burned it, and said, "I trust that what's mine will find me." Just days later, an unexpected job offer came through. It was better than she expected. She didn't give up. She let go, and her vibration shifted. Gratitude is the key here. When you can say thank you before something even arrives, you collapse time. Gratitude is future tense trust. It says, I know it's coming, so I'm already aligned with it. That's high vibration. And high vibrations don't chase, they attract. The ego wants control, but the subconscious thrives in faith. That's why the art of surrender works. It speaks directly to the part of you that creates your reality. Silent trust holds more power than loud desperation. Scarcity blocks, but faith opens doors. Want to practice tonight? Write down what you're holding on to too tightly. Whether it's a goal, a fear, or a timeline. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I let this go? Sit with it. Feel it. Then breathe it out. You don't need to abandon your dreams. You just need to stop strangling them. And when you stop gripping, something incredible happens. Opportunities show up without warning. Flow returns. Synchronicity sparks once again. But there's one last piece of this manifestation puzzle. The most powerful growth happens quietly. It's the subtle cracking of the shell before the sprout pushes through. The greatest transformations don't come with fireworks. They come with faith. Faith that your vibration is doing the work. Faith that your silent actions are stirring something unseen. Manifestation isn't microwave magic. It's organic, slow evolution. Think about it. When you plant a seed, water it, and wait. Do you dig it up every day to check on it? No. You trust that nature is working in perfect timing. But when it comes to your own life, do you offer that same trust? Or do you panic at the first sign of silence? Most people quit just before things are about to bloom. Not because it's not working, but because they can't see it working. That's why gratitude is so important. It keeps your vibration steady in those invisible phases. When nothing seems to be changing, gratitude whispers, keep going. The roots are growing. Let me tell you about Malik. He spent years chasing success, changing strategies every month. Nothing stuck until he committed to one vision, showed up every day, and trusted the process, even when the results were invisible. 8 months later, a viral moment, a flood of clients. But it all started with stillness. Patience isn't passive, it's powerful. It takes more strength to stay when nothing seems to be happening than to jump to the next shiny thing. Your subconscious registers that staying power. It learns, we don't run, we rise. And that belief shapes your entire reality. Here's a grounding practice for you. Every night, write down one thing that grew today, even if it's small. A thought, a choice, a shift in mindset. Track the invisible. Celebrate the unseen. That trains your vibration to expect progress. And that expectation becomes a magnet. So what if everything you've been asking for is already unfolding, just not in the way you expected? What if your only job now is to stay open, grateful, and present? Because the daily practices we'll cover next are where the inner and outer worlds finally meet. You don't rise by accident. You rise by ritual. The difference between those who manifest consistently and those who don't? They practice small, conscious choices that train their subconscious, amplify their vibration, and align them with flow. The secret isn't doing more. It's doing the right things repeatedly. Start here. Every morning, sit in silence for just 5 minutes. Breathe. Let your mind settle. This simple act will calibrate your frequency before the world gets loud. Then speak your affirmations, not like you're begging, but like you're remembering. I'm safe. I am seen. I am exactly where I need to be. Next, visualize, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. See yourself walking into the life you've been dreaming of. Feel the doorknob. Smell the room. Hear the version of you who already lives that reality. This isn't fantasy. It's subconscious reprogramming. You,